Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Naruto Shippuden episode review. This one's going to be for episode 487, Sasuke's story, Sunrise Part 5, the last one. So that's the name of the episode, and it's also the last episode of this Sasuke on his redemption arc. So, overall, I thought it was actually a really good episode. I thought it was a really good ending to this arc. Overall, there are a few little bits that I don't think worked amazingly well, but there were just little bits. The overall core of, Chino, Fushin, Sasuke himself worked really well. So the focus on the start of this episode was on the fight between Chino and Sasuke, and I thought it was really well done because I thought it was very clear that Sasuke was in absolutely no danger really in this fight. He had to, stay focused somewhat, but he absolutely was not exerting himself a massive amount in this fight. He didn't really use the Sharingan, absolutely didn't use the Rinnegan, right up until the very end of the fight, and and especially going up against Chino, where she establishes that she's at her most powerful in this location because of the high concentration of iron, because blood makes her technique, the Tetsuryugan, more powerful. That she was at her most powerful, but Sasuke was still in no danger basically whatsoever in the fight. But it was still a really well animated fight in that Sasuke just kind of using kind of his lightning style to kind of blow through her kind of blood dragon things, which were really cool. Then I suppose you see what would have happened if she had kind of used her technique properly on Sasuke, but it turns out that he was just kind of using genjutsu to show that, and that's how he got the advantage in the fight. But in the end, he specifically doesn't kill her because he realizes that they are both very similar. They are, both the last of their clans, and what I really liked when it got to this conversation part was that Sasuke, in dealing with someone who is basically very similar to himself, and given that he's sort of seen the light at this point in time, some of the things that he says to her are some of the same things that Naruto said to him. And I like that in the end it came down to, the reason he does so much for the Leaf Village is because there are people there who care about him, and one of them, Naruto, obviously helped him to see the light, and for now he's kind of going to be the darkness of the village like his brother was, but he eventually wants to get back there. And I liked how she brought up the idea of, you always had a family who cared for you. You always had someone who did care for you. I was alone the entire time. And I love how Sasuke was the one to remember his first fight with Naruto, and him basically calling out Naruto for that you never had anyone in the first place. You don't know what it is like to lose everything like I do. So it's this idea where, in that moment, I like that it was sort of Sasuke realizing that maybe he was sort of wrong to go about, challenging Naruto in that way, in that not understanding what it's like to just not have anyone versus what it's like to have someone and lose them. I like that at that point in time he actually understood it, because Naruto obviously went to the effort, and given what happened to Naruto in the series, he obviously experienced firsthand what it was like to lose all of those people, very clearly, with Jiraiya most clearly, but also like Neji and people like that along the way. That Sasuke, I think, now understands Naruto's perspective, and I like that he kind of, through remembering that fight, kind of realizes that, oh, when Naruto was fighting me back then, the person that he lost was me. Like, I don't know if they were quite going for that, but I think is somewhat that way, given where they then go with the conversation, in that Sasuke remembers that the reason Naruto is hurting so much and he's trying so hard is because the person he is in the process of losing at that point in time is Sasuke. And then just the idea that at this point in the fight, Fushin comes back. After we initially thought he was like unconscious, completely out of the fight, he arrives back on the scene, and it's this great moment where Chino immediately kind of wants to defend him, like, oh, you're here, you're still alive, and don't come here, this is a fight between me and Sasuke. That everything that Sasuke was just telling her is like, you have someone as well. you may have thought you were alone, but you have these people who have come around you and supported you along the way that you are really close to. And just that moment when they both think that Sasuke is kind of gonna kill them, but he's not there to do that at all. And Chino in the end realizes that and is just kind of like, no, Fushin, stop, it's okay. And that she accepts that she really cares, and if she lost Fushin, it would be actually a really big thing for her, like that it would really hurt and it would be painful, that she does have someone who cares for her and that she cares about. That was just I thought that was really well executed over the course of this episode, using Sasuke remembering what happened, that someone went so far for him and he's kind of returning that favor, and he's now knowledgeable enough about this stuff to realize that when people have friends that around them that can help them. It was just really nicely done. And from there we basically got a kind of extended epilogue as we cut back to the Leaf Village for a little bit. We see Hinata and Sakura finishing with the healing of everyone who was affected by the exploding human thing. We see that Sasuke hasn't returned to the village yet, but obviously had them sent to the Leaf Village prison, Fushin, Chino and the other guy who helped them out. And I really like that scene where Kakashi is there and is talking to them, and it completely defines this kind of new era where it's not about killing someone because they did something to you, but it's like, no, if we capture someone and they are open to change, we're going to use that to our advantage. So he brings in the Mizukage, and she's kind of like, I know you had a former connection to our village, will you help us and kind of fight for yourself from now on and kind of help us. I really like that because it shows this kind of complete change in the ninja world that obviously we know has been caused by Naruto. And then when he walks in, it's just like, oh, Chino instantly recognizes that this is the person who has changed Sasuke and who helped Sasuke to change her. And it was this really strong moment for Naruto where he didn't need to say a lot. He just came in there and it was kind of instantly obvious that he was the one who kind of affected most of this change. And I like that in the room, it was kind of, you had the current Hokage, the current Mizukage, and then you also with them had the next in line to be Hokages, basically, in Naruto and oh my god, what's the other guy's name? I always forget this guy's name, the other guy with the sword. Either way. So from there, I suppose the only disappointing thing with the episode was how they went about resolving it kind of after that. In that, yes, I like the bit where we go to Sasuke and he reflects on what Chino told him about the whole idea. If you're just an onlooker, you are just as responsible as the actual perpetrator for causing the crimes of a victim because you didn't help. And he goes back to the Colosseum and basically challenges every single ninja at that event to fight, and he will free them if he wins. And we cut back later on and he's done it. He's captured them all. The Cloud Ninja come in and they basically reveal that, look, any shinobi who have been captured and are taking part in this Colosseum, we will take them in and you will be kind of free shinobi from here on out. And then they capture up all the people who have been leading this whole idea that's been enslaving shinobi, and specifically Kekkei Genkai shinobi. And so this idea just that Sasuke has dismantled this kind of slave trade with ninja thing, that is one of the other things he's done here. And it was a pretty notable moment. My issue was a little bit after that, in that I like the moment with Sakura and Naruto talking about Sasuke and the fact that he hasn't come back yet, and her being still embarrassed to like really truly admit how much she cares about Sasuke, even around Naruto, until she punches Naruto. But it was the bit after that where we just have kind of Sasuke on his own. The letter comes to him, and he reads it, and to me, it absolutely should have been from Sakura, but it was from Naruto for some reason. And like, I get it, it still works because it's Naruto, and that this whole episode, to some extent highlighted Naruto and his impact on Sasuke. But I feel that, like, in terms of someone saying something to Sasuke that's going to make him kind of come back to the village, making that comparison with Sasuke of just like, it's so great what you're doing for the village. It's like you're a member of the Konoha police force, and that being kind of little Sasuke's dream all those years ago, that like he always wanted to kind of grow up, kind of be a police officer, kind of in the police force, and kind of go into the family business. And he's kind of doing that in a way now with what he's doing. I think that that would have had much more meaning coming from Sakura, and made a reason for Sasuke to come back to the village to see her specifically, and also everyone else. As I said, it still works coming from Naruto, but it doesn't have the same impact that it would have had coming from Sakura. And it just felt like they teased and teased and teased at the whole Sakura Sasuke relationship and them doing something with it, but never actually committed to doing anything with it. Because the problem with that is that the next arc is the Shikamaru arc, which, as far as I'm aware, doesn't really have any Sakura Sasuke moments. And then there's the wedding arc, which, unless they really extend it out at the end, also doesn't really have any Sakura Sasuke moments. So before we, obviously move into Boruto in the anime, I really feel that they need to do something to highlight some of the relationships between these characters and why they are the way they are prior to that. So that's what I'm really wondering, like, with regards to the amount of episodes we have left of Shippuden. Will they actually commit to showing something with regards to all of the romances? But yeah, with regards to this arc though, I really liked it in the end, that you had this moment of Sasuke kind of encountering a clan that had dealt with the same things that he had, and how he tackled it in a very mature way, a way that reflected everything that he's recently learned with regards to friendship and caring about the people around you, and kind of showing empathy as well, just for people who kind of have been through similar things to him, that he didn't just go to kill them, and he handled it in a way that helped them, that Chino is now on this kind of somewhat path to redemption, and that, like, yes, she is going to have to kind of serve the Mizukage for the rest of her life to kind of make amends for what she did, but it's still, making something useful out of this otherwise kind of vengeful kind of character. So I like that. And then the reveal at the end of En Oyashiro and with Orochimaru, that he is actually Chino's father, and he massacred the Chinoki clan to kind of stop anyone in the future as part of the Chinoki clan from taking revenge against the Uchiha, because otherwise, like, if there was a bunch of them around, there definitely would have been a war between the Chinoki clan and the Uchiha clan, and the Uchiha clan would have wiped out completely the Chinoki clan. So I like the reveal from that kind of point of view, and that it kind of explains a kind of couple of things more so than just the clan died out over time because they lived in Hell Valley. In that, no, there was actually this massacre moment for them as well, that ultimately has kept the clan alive in a similar way to the Uchiha, in that, like, the Itachi's massacre obviously left one Uchiha left, and the Chinoki clan also has one left, and they're both kind of on this kind of path of redemption, and the clans are obviously potentially going to continue in different ways with different ideologies now going forward, improved. So yeah, I like the arc overall. The last episode 4 of the arc, wasn't the best, but overall there was some really nice stuff over the course of the arc that I thought was really well done, and characterizing Sasuke at this point in his life, while he's away from the village, was interesting. Still a little bit more to go, but I like that they were very clear about the fact that, like, this has really helped to kind of Sasuke's reputation in terms of kind of fixing everything. The talk he has with the Raikage at the end was well done as well. And just stuff like that, that he's going to do a couple more missions, and he's gradually going to be allowed more and more back into the village and accepted more because of that, and that worked quite well for me. The next arc, starting next episode, is going to be the Shikamaru arc, which is obviously based on the Shikamaru novel, which I have read because it's out in English already. It's a very interesting arc. It's a very Shikamaru focused, so I'm really eager to see how they approach the character stuff with him, and giving him a really solo arc for the first time in a while. Other than that, there is some interesting stuff with Sai, of course, because Sai is kind of part of why the plot kind of really gets going in this arc. And then Ino kind of plays a pretty important role, because obviously we know Sai and Ino get together, and I think this arc is kind of one of the first ones that really begins to approach their relationship to any sort of degree, so that's kind of well done. And again, I probably need to read the book again prior to watching the arc, but if I remember correctly, those are kind of some of the key takeaway moments. I think there's some Tamari Shikamaru stuff towards the end and a little bit at the start, but primarily it's not overly romance focused, but there's little hints. And of course the anime, if it's going to give it, like the Sasuke book, about 4 or 5 episodes, there's time for them to expand on a lot of different things and potentially give us more of that stuff. But we're obviously waiting to see how exactly it does it. But either way, next week's episode I'm really excited for, because Shikamaru is one of my favourite characters. But yeah, that has been the review for episode 487. Links in the description to my Twitter, Tumblr, Patreon campaign and PayPal donation link if you want to support my channel or follow me on social media. But that's been the video for today. Thanks for watching, and bye.